I actually get this question quite a bit. I think given the current climate that we find ourselves in on this app with Indigenous people and this claim, that it's really important to talk about this. And the question is, why are there so many white Americans that claim to have Indigenous ancestry? Now, it's important to note there are a lot of tribal nations out there. All of them have their own requirements for enrollment and acceptance within their culture and within their tribe. So we can't talk about all of them. They're all different. However, for the sake of this video, we're going to be focused on the 5 civilized tribes and the most claimed of ancestry. This would include the Cherokee, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, the Seminole, and the Muskogee Creek. More specifically, the Cherokee, who over the last 10 years have seen a rise in claims of ancestry by white Americans by over 100,000 people. Traditionally, the Cherokee come from a few different places, primarily being Virginia, West Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and Kentucky. Now, the Cherokee lived in an area that was very dense with other tribal nations. As such, they viewed marriage as a very strong political tool, a tool for getting resources, and an economic tool as well. In Cherokee tradition, it is the women that carry Cherokee identity and clanship. So all children of Cherokee women are considered Cherokee. Hence why a Cherokee ancestor by people who claiming Cherokee ancestry is usually on the grandmother's side. And it's because of this that the way that they interacted with other tribal nations around them was no different than how they interacted with Europeans when they came across westward for colonial expansion. They were very quick to adopt and marry off people in order to get these resources and get this political status. This does mean that sadly, many Cherokee families, as high as 7%, were slave owners. And during the forceful removal of Cherokee people to Oklahoma on the Long Walk, the Cherokee actually took their slaves with them. Now, after their relocation from the traditional homelands to Oklahoma during the Long Walk, many Cherokee would return back and forth to their homelands to continue to have a connection to it. And it was around this time that the federal government started enforcing blood quantum laws on tribal nations to verify tribal enrollment. This was with the Cherokee, the Navajo, and the Sioux nations. This was primarily done for land allotments after they had revoked a tribal's say of self-government, land ownership. So how does this all tie in together? Well, when you add everything all together, the fact that they intermarried very strongly, the fact that they owned slaves and all that other stuff, and they're actually from the South, during the late 1830s to 1840s, there was a sudden rise in Cherokee heritage claims as tensions rose for the American Civil War. The Cherokee resisted against state and federal removal of themselves from the traditional lands. And by claiming Cherokee ancestry, they were legitimizing themselves as true people of the South, native-born people of the South, who, much like the Cherokee, are resisting a government from the North that is forcefully trying to change their way of life. And as such, it's just snowballed over the years. And rumor led to rumor led to rumor, and here we are.